Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing an Oscar special. I'm going to be covering every single category that the Oscars are awarding this upcoming season, and it's going to be pretty incredible. Stick around till the end. So starting off the special, we have the most important award of the Oscar ceremony, Best Picture. And to my side, you can see my top 10 picks to be nominated. At number 1, I have Babylon, which is the Damien Chazelle movie starring Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt about old Hollywood. It's going to be an amazing film. It's directed by my favorite director, has great stars. It's probably going to be bonkers. It's like 3 hours long. People are calling it a masterpiece in test screenings, so number 1. At number 2, I have Killers of the Flower Moon. Now this one seems like it might be getting delayed to 2023, but I'm keeping it on this list just in case it does release in 2022. It seems like the edit is going to be a long process, so people aren't sure whether it's coming out this year. But it's directed by Martin Scorsese, it stars Leo DiCaprio, it's a period piece, it's a western type movie. It's going to be incredible. I'm betting on this one. At number 3, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is one of the movies that already came out this year, and it obviously has taken the world by storm. It has like one of the highest Letterboxd scores in the entire app. It has a high IMDb score. Critics love it. The performances are great. The script is insane. The direction's amazing. Everything about this movie is just commendable, and so I think it has a very, very strong chance. At number 4, I have The Fablements, and this is a super obvious pick for Best Picture. It's Steven Spielberg doing a semi-autobiographical movie about his own childhood. It's going to premiere at TIFF. It's going to be a crowd pleaser. It's going to be Spielberg. It stars Paul Dano, Seth Rogen, Michelle Williams. Absolute no-brainer. Best Picture nominee. At number 5, I have Bardo. And this is Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu going back to Mexico, his home country, doing a Spanish movie. It's going to be his Roma. It's going to be beautifully shot. Iñárritu's a 2-time Oscar winner. I mean, this movie is just going to be great. I think it has a very, very strong chance. At number 6, I have Women Talking. And this is the newest Sarah Paulie film starring Frances McDormand, Jessie Buckley, Claire Foy, and Rooney Mara. And this one's going to be a very kind of slow and maybe difficult movie, but I think it has a very strong chance of getting in because of the director, because of the talent involved, and because it's going to be more of a critically movie. It's going to be very talk-heavy. It's about a group of women that got together in a religious colony to discuss sexual abuse. So it's going to be very script-heavy, and I think the performance is going to shine because of that. So I have it in for that reason. At number 7, I have one that I'm really excited for, The Son, starring Hugh Jackman, Laura Dern, Vanessa Kirby, and Anthony Hopkins. It's the follow-up from The Father by Florian Zeller, and it's going to be a great movie. It's going to be dramatic. It's based on Zeller's play that's really successful and critically acclaimed, so this one's going to be a hit no matter what. At number 8, I have Top Gun Maverick. This one is the crowd pleaser of the Oscar season. This one's the movie that the Oscars are going to have to nominate to recognize because it's been doing so well in the box office. People love it. Critics love it. Tom Cruise is a superstar. I mean, this one just has a really good shot. Plus, it's like great below the line. At number 9, I have Aftersun. This is my hopeful for the Oscar season. I really, really hope this movie does well. I haven't even seen it, but because of the people that are involved, especially one person, specifically one person, Paul Mezcal, who I absolutely love from Normal People, I hope it does well. It's directed by newcomer Charlotte Wells. It premiered at Cannes. It has rave reviews. I mean, this one could be a surprise. We'll see. It's distributed by A24, so hopefully a lot of eyes get to see it. Hopefully it picks up even more praise after it potentially releases in fall festivals. I'm hoping this one does really well. At number 10, I have Empire of Light. This is the newest Sam Mendes film, starring Olivia Coleman, Colin Firth, Michael Ward, and it's shot by Roger Deakins, who's obviously amazing. And it's based around an old movie theater in England. I don't know too much else about the movie, but from test screenings, there's some stuff that might be a little bit jarring for audiences. It might face a little bit of backlash because of something specific it shows that's very maybe visceral. But it stars Olivia Coleman. I mean, Olivia Coleman. She is freaking amazing. So I have enough confidence in her to put her in the list, but it might veer on and off depending on how severe the visceralness of the movie is. Hopefully it's good. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Now it's time to talk about the best director. And in this one, you can also see my list. And I have at number 1 Martin Scorsese. How can you deny Martin Scorsese? How can you deny him a nomination? I mean, I think it's a no-brainer if the movie comes out this year that this guy's gonna get nominated. He is 80 years old and he's still making top quality stuff. This movie is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be also a very long movie. It's gonna be a late career masterpiece, much like The Irishman. And I think the Oscars are probably gonna want to reward him for it. He only has one Oscar, which is absolutely insane. So he's going in my list for sure at number 1. At number 2, I have Damien Chazelle, my favorite director, and I think he's gonna absolutely kill it with Babylon. La La Land, First Man, and Whiplash are all amazing movies, but this time he has over $100 million to work with. He's gonna have his entire toolkit at his disposal, and I mean the talent that he has with $100 million plus. I can't imagine how amazing this movie's gonna be. I mean, God help us all. At number 3, I have Steven Spielberg, and this is also a pretty safe bet. He is directing a movie about his own childhood, and this is Spielberg we're talking about, one of the most famous directors and most successful directors, an Academy darling. He's making a personal movie, and I think the Oscars are not going to be able to deny him a nomination for that. At number 4, we got Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, and I have him because he is just a bonkers, crazy, like, extremely ambitious director, probably the most ambitious of the bunch. He's gonna completely blow people's mind with what he does with Bardo. His movies are just always shot in, like, very unique ways, and I think Bardo's gonna be no different. He has 2 Oscars already, he's lining up for another nomination, so I think he has a strong chance. At number 5, I have Daniels, the directors of Everything Everywhere. And I mean, these guys came from directing music videos. It kind of shows in the movie, but their style is just so unique and so commendable and so, I don't know, it's something that the Academy should reward. The movie's doing extremely well, obviously, and the directors are a big part of it. The way it's shot, the way it's thought through, the visuals are just pretty crazy, pretty amazing. I think they deserve it. Hopefully they get a nomination for this. At number 6, I have Sarah Paulie. She's the first woman director I have on this list, and I think she has a very strong chance of getting in. She is directing a movie that's going to be a little bit more understated, I think, a little bit less flashy than some of the others, but I'm sure it's going to be well directed. She's very young and very talented, so I'm hoping that she gets in the lineup as well. At number 7, I have James Cameron, who, completely opposite from Sarah Paulie, is doing a huge blockbuster movie, the follow-up to Avatar. He obviously got nominated for Avatar. He is a Best Director winner for Titanic. I mean, this guy is obviously amazing at creating spectacle. If Avatar 2 lives up to Avatar 1, maybe he can get nominated. I mean, this is obviously going to be an achievement in directing no matter what. At number 8, I have Park Chan-wook, who directed Decision to Leave. And this movie premiered at Cannes. He won the award for Best Director at Cannes. From what I heard, the movie is just very stylistically, like, interesting, and it's shot beautifully, and the way the camera moves is pretty impressive. And Park Chan-wook is a long overdue director. He hasn't gotten a lot of recognition from the Academy in the past, and he is one of the greatest foreign film directors of all time. And this guy just needs to get some recognition, so hopefully he gets in. At number 9, I have Charlotte Wells, who's kind of coming along with the ride of Aftersun, which got into my Best Picture noms. And the movie, from what I've heard, is just directed beautifully. It's not a flashy movie at all, but it's being compared somewhat to Moonlight style of directing, to Barry Jenkins somewhat. And it's a very humane style. It's very, like, vivid. It's very, I don't know, it's very tactile. So I think she has a very strong chance if the movie lives up to the expectation, to what I expect. So keep an eye on Charlotte Wells. At number 10, I have Sam Mendes, who has already received some Academy recognition in the past. A few years ago, he was nominated for 1917, and he's a very good director. This is probably going to be a great movie, but the competition is so strong that I don't have the confidence to put in my top 5. This movie, Empire of Light, might not be as, like, directorially impressive as 1917, so for that reason, I haven't missed him out, but he has a strong chance too. Okay, so I think most people are very excited about this category. It's Best Actor. And at number 1, I have Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is just a super underrated talent. I mean, he's only had a few roles to show his talent, like Les Miserables, like Logan, but the Son is just gonna give him all the tools to succeed. I mean, he's probably gonna cry, he's gonna laugh, he's gonna be angry. I mean, this movie is just gonna be the Hugh Jackman show. It's gonna be a display of his talents. I think he's gonna be amazing in it, and obviously Hopkins won the Best Actor award for Florian Zeller's last movie, so look out for Hugh Jackman for sure. At number 2, I have Leo DiCaprio, and I mean, can you deny Leo DiCaprio? He is just such a superstar. He is amazing in everything he's in. He always just misses out on like the vast majority of Oscar seasons, and I think this time around it might be the same. He is gonna be apparently amazing in Killers of the Flower Moon. In the very rough cuts that have been shown, people have been raving about him. So I think Leo DiCaprio yet again. At number 3, I have Brendan Fraser. Finally, the return of Brendan Fraser after 15 years or so. He's back. He's going to be amazing in The Whale. He's going to be basically the entire movie. He is the whale. He's going to be like 600 pounds with a ton of makeup on him. He's going to be great. He's going to have such an emotional, such a heartfelt performance. I mean, I can't possibly think that Brendan Fraser doesn't get nominated for this, honestly. At number 4, I have a question mark because I don't know if Rustin is coming out yet, but Coleman Domingo in it. I mean, he is playing a civil rights activist who is gay. And Coleman Domingo is a great actor. I mean, he's just going to blow it out of the water with this role. It's going to give him so much to work with. It's going to be a very undeniable role about a person who is obviously black, gay, in the civil rights movement, like going through a lot. So I think his performance is going to really stand out. At number 5, I have Austin Butler for Elvis. And this is a movie that most people have seen already. Austin Butler is amazing in it. He is like a perfect impersonation of Elvis. I didn't believe I was seeing an actor for the entire movie. And the performance scenes, he's just like super electric. He is just great in this movie. And I think, we've seen it before with biopics, with Bohemian Rhapsody. Giving the Best Actor award to Rami Malek. I'm not sure if he's gonna win necessarily, but I think he definitely deserves to be recognized as a nomination at the very least. At number 6, we have Jimenez Cacho from Bardo, and I'm just going off the fact that Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu usually gets his lead actors nominated for Oscars, with DiCaprio for The Revenant and Michael Keaton for Birdman. And even though it's a Spanish film, the performance is probably going to be really good. I don't know much about the actor personally, but I'm just hoping, just based on the movie, based on what Iñárritu has done in the past, that he will be very good. At number 7, we have Diego Calva in Babylon. And Diego Calva is actually the lead of Babylon, something that most people don't know. Obviously, he's an unknown actor, relatively unknown actor. And he's probably going to be great in it. I mean, I trust Giselle to pick his actors. And he's going to be in one of the best pictures of the year. So that in itself is going to be maybe enough to push him to a nomination. At number 8, I have Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin. And this pick is mostly based on Colin Farrell's relationship with Martin McDonagh. He was obviously great in Bruges, and I love Colin Farrell. I mean, he's a great actor. He's a lot overdue for Academy Award. He's having a big year with The Bad Man coming out, After Yang, 13 Lives, The Banshees of Inisherin, like 4 movies in 1 year. I really hope he gets recognized because I absolutely love him. At number 9, I have Adam Driver for White Noise. And I'm basing this off of Adam Driver's talent. I mean, he's worked with Noah Baumbach before. It got him nominated a few years ago for Marriage Story. He is a great actor. He's going to be like a little bit transformed from what I saw in the pictures that we've seen from White Noise. So I think he has a solid chance of getting in. At number 10, I have Colin Firth, who is already a Best Actor winner for The King's Speech. He's going to be maybe lead, maybe supporting. I'm not quite sure yet, but he's going to be next to Olivia Coleman. That might be to his benefit, or that might be to his detriment because Olivia Coleman's so great that she might outshine him. But I think he still has a decent chance. Hopefully he's very good. All right, this is another extremely exciting category. It's the Best Actress race. And at number 1, I have Olivia Coleman. Not a lot of people have Olivia Coleman at number 1. A lot of people have her on their list because she is freaking amazing. The reason I have her at 1 is because I've heard things from the rough screenings they've done of Empire of Light. she is also like, in my opinion, like one of the greatest actresses working today. I mean, she's freaking amazing. I can't. Olivia Coleman is an amazing actress, and for that reason, I have her number one. At number two, I have Margot Robbie, who is probably going to be campaigning as a co-lead for Babylon, and she is going to be amazing. I mean, the test screenings so far say that she's absolutely incredible. From what I've seen from her before, I have absolutely no doubts that she's going to kill it in this role. She's going to deliver a crazy performance. It's going to be amazing. She's one of the greatest young actresses working today, so I'm looking forward to that one. She's my number two. At number three, I have Michelle Yeoh, who has a great narrative, a great story, and is definitely a crowd favorite to win. I mean, she has been in Hollywood forever. She is a legend of action movies. She is delivering something completely different in this movie. She's doing everything. She's doing action, she's doing comedy, she's doing drama. As an all-encompassing performance, people love her. Hollywood loves her. I mean, they have to at least nominate her. She's great in it. At number four, I have Daniel Deadwyler for Till. And I saw the trailer for Till recently. The movie doesn't really look that great, which is unfortunate because I wanted it to be very good. But maybe it will be. I don't know. Anyways, Danielle Deadwyler has a very meaty role in this. She is a mother who lost her son and is, grieving throughout the movie. She is trying to make sure that his son's death isn't in vain. And obviously, it's going to be a very dramatic, very heavy role, so I think she'll be great in it, even if the movie's not that great. At number five, I have Soe Kazan, and I felt like I needed a representative for She Said in this list, and she's going to be great in it. She is going to have that journalistic type performance that we've seen before, but we've seen those performances also get nominated before, so it wouldn't be a complete surprise if she got nominated. And yeah, those are kind of my reasons for it. At number six, I have Cate Blanchett for Tar, and she's going to be playing a musical composer. It's going to be like very focused on her. I've seen like a little teaser that was released, and she looks like she is very intense in the movie. And she has a very strong chance of getting it. I mean, she's Cate Blanchett. She's a very good actress, so I don't rule her out whatsoever. At number seven, I have Carrie Mulligan, another She Said representative. Honestly, it's kind of like it's difficult to pick between her and Soe Kazan for who's going to get in, who's going to be out, but I think one of the two is going to get in. Carrie Mulligan has gotten in the lineup before, whereas Soe Kazan has gotten a little bit less recognition, so I feel like Soe Kazan is a bit overdue. At number 8, I have Ana de Armas for Blonde, and I'm feeling a little bit bad actually to have her this low, because I love Ana de Armas, and I think she's going to be amazing as Marilyn Monroe. I mean, what a meaty role that is, and it's a long movie too, for her to display everything. The thing is, Blonde has gotten some, reactions to some, speculation about the movie. It seems like it's going to be a bit heavy. It's, NC-17 rated, so it might not be the Academy's cup of tea, but I love Ana de Armas with all my heart. At number 9, I have Regina King for Shirley. This is also going to be a meaty role. Regina King is obviously an excellent actress. I back her to have a great performance, and it all kind of depends of how, everybody from 4 to 10 kind of lines up, how their performances play out. We don't know at this point, so she's there, but she can easily rise up. At number 10, I have Naomi Ackie for I Want to Dance with Somebody. She is obviously playing Whitney Houston, which is a larger-than-life person. She is obviously amazing. She's going to be great in the movie. But the movie itself, it might suffer from the classic biopic syndrome. It might be like a Respect-type movie where the movie is not good enough to get the actress nominated. And the poster that has been released so far doesn't look that appealing or great. So maybe after some other first looks maybe are released in the movie or a trailer, I can have a better gauge of where she's at, but for now she's at number 10. Moving on to supporting actors, I have Ke Huy Quan at number 1. He obviously has a great story behind him. He was a child star in Indiana Jones and The Goonies, and he quit acting for 30 years. He took a long hiatus because he couldn't find any jobs for himself. And he was absolutely amazing and the emotional core of Everything Everywhere All at Once with action, comedy, drama, just a amazing, incredible performance. I mean, he should get in, and I'd be really, really happy to see him get in. At number 2, I have Brad Pitt. Obviously, a massive star in Hollywood, has already received recognition from the Academy. People love Brad Pitt. He's gonna be funny. He's gonna be great in Babylon. He's never delivering bad performances. So expect to see Brad Pitt in here. At number 3, I have Paul Dano. He is playing Steven Spielberg's dad in The Fablements, and obviously with that, it has to come a lot of emotional moments. He's probably gonna have a heart-to-heart with Steven, or the equivalent of Steven in the movie. And I mean, his character might be really emotionally resonant. He might be somebody that people feel really attached to. So I'm keeping him in for this. At number 4, I have Jessie Plemmons, somebody who's gotten a lot of recognition from the public and critics recently. He obviously received the nomination for Power of the Dog last year in a slightly small role, honestly. And this time he's going to have a much meatier, much larger role in Killers of the Flower Moon. He is going to be playing off of Leo DiCaprio. And from what I heard from the test screenings, his performance is really, really good from like the rough cut that has been shown. So I'm really keeping my eye on Jessie Plemmons to get nominated this year. At number 5, I have Paul Mezcal, also going along with After Sun, and I have a soft spot in my heart for this one. I love the TV show Normal People. I think Paul Mezcal is like gonna be one of the best actors in like 5 years. Like people are gonna see him, and he's gonna be like I don't know, like maybe an Andrew Garfield type, or he's gonna be big. He's gonna be very famous, and yeah, I mean, from what I've heard in this movie, he's very good. His role might be somewhat lead, but they might campaign him in supporting. I just think Paul Mescal's great, so I think you gotta get in. At number 6, I have Ben Whishaw, and I have him in because he is the only like strong, like big part male supporting role in Women Talking, and I feel like he's gonna have a big part to play there. I mean, in a movie that's based around a ton of women having these difficult conversations, his role might be meaty. I'm not sure exactly what his role is, but he's a very good actor. I mean, he was great at The Lobster, so I think he might get in. At number 7, I have Seth Rogen for The Fablements. He is playing Steven Spielberg's uncle, and yeah, I mean, Seth Rogen's a great actor. His uncle might be some sort of an important figure for him, somebody inspirational. If he plays a big role in the movie, I think he's going to have a good chance of getting in. Not sure exactly how much screen time he has, but if he does have enough screen time, I think he has a strong chance. At number 8, I have Michael Ward for Empire of Light. And Michael Ward is a Rising Star Award winner. He apparently is a very good actor. I've never seen anything with him in it, but I'm very excited to see him next to Olivia Coleman. I mean, that's going to be great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is just because of his track record, because he is a very reputable young actor. I think he might be very good. I hope he will be, and that's why I have him on my short list. At number 9, I have a somewhat seasoned actor, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro obviously is great in everything he's in. I believe he's going to be equally great in Killers of the Flower Moon. From what I heard, he plays a little bit of a villainous role. So it's going to be a different place to see De Niro at. I'm excited to see him. With that cast, I mean, he's gonna be playing off of DiCaprio, is gonna be playing off of all these people. So Robert De Niro at number 9. At number 10, I have Andre Braugher, another She Said representative, and I'm giving She Said a lot of shout outs in the acting categories. The reason I have Braugher in here is because in the trailer, he seems like he's playing like the boss role of the newspaper of the New York Times. It seems like he has a somewhat meaty role in that movie, and I love him. He's a very funny dude. He is my favorite character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So it's a little bit of personal bias going into this as well, but if he has a big role in She Said, I mean, never discount him. Moving on to supporting actress, I am going to start with number 1, Lily Gladstone. This is apparently a very meaty role in Killers of the Flower Moon. She plays Leo DiCaprio's wife, I believe, and from the test screening so far, it seems like she's very, very good in it. And, you know, it's a Scorsese movie. Everybody in it is going to be great. Lily Gladstone's probably going to be great, so I have her at number 1. At number 2, I have a multiple-time nominee, Michelle Williams, for The Fablements. And Michelle Williams is great in everything she said. I mean, she's going to be playing Steven Spielberg's mom in this. Also, probably going to have a heart-to-heart moment with young Spielberg, or young, whatever the fake last name for Spielberg's gonna be in this movie. So it's gonna be very good. I mean, sure, I trust Michelle Williams to always perform at the highest level. At number 3, I have Jessie Buckley as kind of the representative for Women Talking, because it could be really interchangeable. I mean, Women Talking has a lot of different people who could be the main supporting actress, but Jessie Buckley has been kind of on a roll recently. She has Men that came out this year. She was nominated for the first time last year for The Lost Daughter, and she's just a great actress. And this movie is definitely going to have a nominee, and I wouldn't bet against Jessie Buckley being that nominee. At number 4, I have Vanessa Kirby, and she is playing Hugh Jackman's new girlfriend after Hugh Jackman divorces Laura Dern in The Son. I'm not sure who's going to have the media role between Laura Dern and Vanessa Kirby, but I'm putting Kirby here. She was excellent in Pieces of a Woman a few years ago. She is a Oscar caliber actress, so I hope she gets some recognition for this. At number 6, I have Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And obviously the two other main actors in that movie I've already talked about getting maybe nominated. Stephanie Hsu is just outside my top 5 for now, because her role I think is a little bit smaller maybe. Or maybe not even that. I just think the other two are slightly stronger. But Stephanie Hsu is very good in this movie, and if the movie has, all the momentum that it seems like it has, it can definitely get her the nomination, and I don't think anybody would reproach that. She's extremely good in this movie. At number 7, I have Laura Dern. Laura Dern getting a win recently for Marriage Story. She is playing Hugh Jackman's ex-wife in The Son. It's not sure who's gonna have the bigger role, whether it's Kirby or Dern, but I mean both of them are great, and I think Laura Dern is gonna kill it in this movie as well. Every actor in this movie is gonna be great, so Laura Dern is a strong contender. At number 8, I have Frances McDormand for Women Talking. I mean, this is like my second Women Talking rep, maybe. I'm only saying this because Frances McDormand is another one of the best actors living today, an extremely good actress. But she might not want to get nominated. She's been nominated plenty of times. She's won 3 times, so she strikes me as the kind of person who won't campaign too hard. So she might be outside of the race, but she's such a good actress that I gotta put her in. My number 9 is Hong Chau in The Whale. I'm not entirely sure who Hong Chau is playing in The Whale, but she was very good in Downsizing. She kind of stole the show in that movie, and she has some conversation around her. She is very popular, it seems, with people. So Hong Chau, even though I don't know much about her, she might be very good. Who knows? So I have her number 9. At number 10, I have Tang Wei from Decision to Leave. And she's a Chinese actress in a Korean movie, which is a little bit confusing, but yes, she is very good apparently in this movie. This movie premiered at Cannes, and I think she won the Best Actress Award at Cannes. I'm not quite sure. So even if she did, I mean, there's a lot of buzz around her performance. Critics say it's the best of the festival, so maybe Tang Wei can follow that momentum to an Oscar nomination. She's outside of my list, but she might be a surprise. Now, moving on to Best Original Screenplay. At number 1, I have Babylon. I absolutely love Damien Chazelle's screenplays. I mean, they're all so perfectly crafted. They're all so meticulous. They all build up to an amazing ending. And this one's going to be a 3-hour epic. It's going to be his most bombastic, most extravagant, most ambitious movie, probably. And I'm just expecting it to be on par with his other movies as far as the screenplay goes. And if that's the case, I mean, it's going to be excellent. It's going to be absolutely excellent. But that being said, at number 2, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I was really tempted to put at number 1 because I've seen this movie, I know the screenplay, and it is mind-blowingly good. I mean, it's crazy, it's incredibly ambitious, it's so well executed, it keeps and wraps in drama, action, emotion, comedy, everything, and just like the movie implies by its title, it's just incredible. I mean, this screenplay definitely deserves an award for originality, that's for sure. At number 3, I have The Fablements, which is co-written by Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner. And this is going to be obviously a personal story. It's going to be very, very close to Spielberg's heart. It's going to be a heartwarming story. People are going to like it a lot. It just seems like it comes from an emotional place, most likely. So I have a hard time denying this. At number 4, I have Bardo. And this is Iñárritu's movie. It's written and directed by Iñárritu. It's gonna be, hopefully on par with Birdman. It's gonna be a great movie all around. Directing and screenplay, I think, will come with the movie. So look out for Bardo. At number 5, I have Aftersun, which is also coming along with the ride of picture and Paul Mezcal and supporting actor. I mean, this movie has to get something if it gets into picture as far as directing or screenplay is concerned. And I think because the screenplay is divided into 2 categories, I think it has a stronger chance in screenplay. The movie's apparently beautiful. It's also very heart-shattering. So if it connects with people, I can see this happening. At number 6, I have Triangle of Sadness, and this movie obviously was very successful at Cannes. It won the Palme d'Or, and it seems like it's a very witty, funny, well-written movie. It's satirical in nature. It's making fun of rich people. So I think it has a strong chance of getting in here. At number 7, I have Decision to Leave, and this screenplay is going to be quite a lot different from Triangle of Sadness. It seems a lot more serious. It's, a mystery type story with a romance, and it's co-written by Park Chan-wook and his typical usual co-writer. They're both great writers, so I'm expecting this to be good. The reaction from Cannes was very good. It's apparently very deeply thematic, and it's a little bit hard to digest for some audiences, but I still think it has a strong chance. At number 8, I have Rustin, and this is a movie that's co-written by George C. Wolfe, the director, and it tackles a main character who was obviously in a very disadvantageous position in that period of time, being a black gay man in a period where black people overall were super disadvantaged, even more than today. And obviously, because they're tackling such subject matter, and because it's going to be that type of story, I feel like it has a decent chance of getting into original screenplay. At number 9, I have Amsterdam, and this is the newest David O. Russell movie. Probably the first and last time I'll mention his name here. This movie does seem like it has a pretty crazy, pretty cool original story. It's not an original story, but it's an original screenplay based on supposedly something that actually happened. From the trailer, it looks very interesting, but David O. Russell just has tarnished his name completely, and I think the Academy might leave him out. I just wanted to give Amsterdam a little bit of a shout out, but I don't think it's going to get in for David O. Russell. At number 10, I have Empire of Light, and this is written by Sam Mendes. And it's his follow-up to 1917. It's the second screenplay he's done. 1917 had a good screenplay, but this one's going to be a lot more character heavy, and there's going to be obviously a lot more dialogue going on. It's not going to be a war movie, so I kind of just want to see what Sam Mendes' writing chops are, and I think it's going to be really good. Who knows? I mean, fingers crossed it is. For Best Adapted Screenplay, I have at number 1, Killers of the Flower Moon, and this is co-written by Scorsese and Eric Roth, who is a very common screenwriter at the Academy. He gets nominated quite a lot, and the movie's going to be great. It's going to be a Best Picture favorite. It's going to get it. At number 2, I have The Son, which is written by Florian Zeller. It's based on his own play. His plays are very critically acclaimed. The Father got in screenplay. I think The Son is going to do the same. It's going to be a great movie, and it's my number 2. At number 3, I have Women Talking, and I have this in because it's going to be a very script-heavy movie. There's going to be a lot of talking in a small room, so I think the screenplay might be rewarded because it's going to be a little bit more contained, and it's going to highlight the actors. At number 4, I have She Said. It's obviously adapted from a best-selling book written by the 2 women who uncovered the Harvey Weinstein scandal. It's because the book is pretty acclaimed, and because it seems like a very screenplay-forward movie, I think it has a very strong chance of getting into adapted screenplay. Number 5, I have The Whale, which is adapted from a play, and it's Darren Aronofsky adapting it. The play is very acclaimed. It's going to be emotional. It seems like a very screenplay-forward movie, just like She Said, and so I do feel like it's going to get in. At number 6, I have White Noise, which is adapted by Noah Baumbach from a Strange book, but I still feel like Noah Baumbach has a track record of producing great screenplays. He obviously did Marriage Story a few years ago, which was excellent and recognized by the Academy. So I have confidence in Baumbach. It doesn't quite make my top 5, but it's definitely around there. At number 7, I have Glass Onion, which is Rian Johnson's sequel to Knives Out. He already proved with Knives Out that he's a very accomplished writer. He's a very witty writer. If the screenplay has as many twists and turns as Knives Out, it might get in. Honestly, really strong screenplay the first time around, so I'm expecting a lot in this movie. At number 8, I have Top Gun Maverick. It's obviously based on a book. It features great technicals. The movie features other great things, so a screenplay might just go in with it. I think it's a very tight screenplay. It achieves exactly what it's looking for. So it might be, an odd choice, but it might be a choice. At number 9, I have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, adapted from the Marvel Comics. They were dealt a really bad hand with the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, but they've been able to do something pretty great, it seems. From the trailer, it seems like they've taken it in an interesting direction. If the movie lives up to the first, if the screenplay is about as good, then I think it has a strong chance. At number 10, I have Pinocchio, the Guillermo del Toro movie, not to be confused with the live-action Disney movie. Del Toro is obviously a very accomplished writer and director, and I just really trust him to manage this twist to Pinocchio's story, this like dark tale of Pinocchio. So I think it's going to be a really good movie, and I think the screenplay will be the strongest out of the animated movies. Moving on to Best Cinematography. At number 1, I have Babylon. This is Linus Sandgren coming back and shooting another movie after doing La La Land and First Man, which have absolutely top-notch cinematography. La La Land obviously winning in 2016, and this is going to be an amazing movie. It's going to be a top contender. Cinematography is going to be absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to get in no matter what. At number 2, I have Bardo, and this is an Iñárritu film. Birdman and The Revenant, I think both won cinematography. Iñárritu movies are just always shot in incredible ways, in very unique ways. I think this is going to get in as well. Very strong chance. At number 3, I have Killers of the Flower Moon, and it's Rodrigo Prieto coming back, having worked with Scorsese multiple times on Silence, on The Wolf of Wall Street, I believe, and he's a great cinematographer, very, very acclaimed. Killers of the Flower Moon is going to be a period piece. It's going to probably look beautiful. I mean, all these top contenders are going to have strong chances of getting in. At number 4, another strong contender, The Fablements, and this is Janusz Kaminski teaming up with Spielberg again. Kaminski's been nominated multiple times. He was nominated last year for West Side Story, which has beautiful cinematography. I expect nothing different from this film. It's going to be colorful, it's going to be vibrant, it's going to be beautiful. It's probably going to get in. At number 5, I have Top Gun Maverick, and this is a little bit of a rogue shout, but a shout I think the movie definitely deserves, definitely warrants. It's obviously shot in like planes. The actors are like recording themselves, and it's just very unique and quite an achievement in filming. So I wouldn't see it past the Academy to nominate Top Gun Maverick for this. At number 6, I have a film that honestly I'm kind of regretting not putting higher. It's Empire of Light. This is shot by Roger Deakins, who is a living legend, and I just saw the first look for the movie recently, and God, it looks absolutely incredible. I mean, the first image that came out just looks like beautiful, top-notch, Oscar-nominated cinematography. So this one can easily get in. I'm not putting it past the movie. Definitely look out for Empire of Light. At number 7, I have Avatar: The Way of the Water. This is James Cameron coming back. Avatar was obviously a beautiful film, visually speaking, and Avatar 2 looks even more impressive visually. I mean, the trailer looks absolutely bonkers. It has like underwater shooting. If it lives up to its picture hype, I can easily see it getting in. At number 8, I have Decision to Leave. This is Park Chan-wook's film. It looks like it's shot in a very unique, very crazy way. And if you look at the trailer, so I've already seen the trailer, it looks incredible. The cinematography looks beautiful. So just based on the trailer itself, I have it in here. At number 9, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I'm putting this movie in based on the fact that it's a top tier player in above the line categories. It might sneak into cinematography because of that. The cinematography is great in it, don't get me wrong, but it might not be as as top notch as some of the top tier contenders in this category. At number 10, I have Amsterdam, and this is one of the only places I have Amsterdam in. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy surrounding David O. Russell, so the movie might not get in other categories, but this is shot by Emmanuel Lubezki. The trailer's out for it. Cinematography looks beautiful, looks interesting, so it might get into this category just because of that, but we never know. Moving on, we have Best Production Design, and this kind of goes along with cinematography in a lot of cases. So at number 1, I have Babylon. Period piece set in the 1920s with huge Hollywood mansions. This movie is going to be extravagant. It's going to be a Great Gatsby type production design, but way more elevated. It has like $100 million plus to invest in it. La La Land wasn't best production design. I mean, all the signs are pointing in this direction for me. At number 2, I have Killers of the Flower Moon, and this movie is set also in the early 1900s. It's a Western. It might get in similar lines from Power of the Dog last year. It has a high budget, so I'm expecting the production design to be on point. Scorsese always works with the best people. His movies usually get nominated for stuff like this, so I'm expecting it. At number 3, I have The Fablements, and this is also set in the past. I think it's like, well, it's Spielberg's childhood, so how old is Spielberg? I don't know, maybe like the 50s or 60s, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be beautiful. A lot of money is gonna go into it. It's probably gonna look very, very on point for the time period. Usually, period pieces get production design and that type of stuff. So I'm expecting this one to get in. At number 4, I have Avatar: The Way of the Water, and this production design is a lot different from the ones I've mentioned previously. I mean, this is gonna be like fully digital production design, but the people working on this are like creating an entire world for Avatar. The world in Avatar 1 is like amazing and super immersive, and I'm expecting Avatar 2 to even up that. So it's getting in for me, Avatar at number 4. At number 5, I have Bardo. And I'm putting this in because it's obviously, again, Iñárritu. I trust them. It's going to be in Mexico. The set pieces are probably going to be, interesting. They're going to be foreign, quote unquote. And yeah, I don't know why. I just have this in my mind as a contender for production design. At number 6, I have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Very similar to Avatar. It's going to be like a lot of world building involved, and the world of Wakanda is really impressive. I can see this getting in. If it builds on the world like was shown in the trailer with even like the underwater scenes and everything, it looks amazing so far from what I've seen. So keep an eye on Black Panther. People might be sleeping on this one. At number 7, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once. And this movie has very specific production design. Most of the movie takes place in like an office type setting and like an IRS office, and it's like very well done, for the limitations of the movie, for the budgetary constraints compared to some of the other ones I'm talking about. This movie has great production design. It's very well thought out, so honestly I think it would deserve it. At number 8, I have Empire of Light, and this is also like a period piece, and it's set in like an old movie theater. The first look looks amazing. I mean, looks incredible. So, because of that, because of all those reasons, I can see it getting in. I think 1917 got in. So, yeah, Empire of Light. At number 9, I have Rustin, which is another period piece. It's also set in like the civil rights movement. So, because of that, period pieces, I have a very strong association between period pieces and nominations for production design, so I'm putting Rustin in as well. At number 10, I have Glass Onion, the follow-up to Knives Out, and I love Knives Out, like the original's production design, so I'm hoping the team can replicate this in the sequel. I know it's going to be a different setting. It's going to be in like the Mediterranean, in like a kind of like a sea setting, but I'm just, I trust the team to replicate something like they did in Knives Out, and that's why I have it in. Now we have Best Editing, and as far as achievements in editing are concerned, number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. This, in my eyes, I mean, I haven't even seen the other movies, but this has to win Best Editing. I mean, the amount of montages, the amount of planning that had to go into building this entire thing, and the work that the editor had to do, I mean, God bless that editor for putting all these crazy scenes together and making it work as a coherent movie. That's an incredible achievement in editing. It should win. It definitely will get nominated, number 1. At number 2, I have Babylon. Damien Chazelle's movies always have incredibly impressive editing. Like, every single one of his movies should have won Best Editing in their year. Whiplash was absolutely incredible. Like, what a freaking movie, and the editing was top notch. La La Land's editing was top notch. I think it won. And First Man, even better. Like, he just keeps getting better at it. Tom Cross, Damien Chazelle's editor, and this movie is gonna live up, I'm sure. At number 3, I have another achievement in editing, Gun Maverick. This movie had to have some insanely good editing to also make it all work out with the aerial scenes. Really impressive. I think it definitely deserves to get in here. So Top Gun at number 3. Number 4, I have Killers of the Flower Moon. Martin Scorsese usually gets in with his movies on this. He works with Thelma Schumacher, his longtime collaborator as editor. And, this movie's going to be long. There's going to be a lot of editing in this. It's going to be very good. Their track record is excellent. So I trust it's going to be very good. At number 5, I have The Fablements. And another top tier contender, usually the top 3 in Best Picture or the top 4 or so got nominated for Best Editing because it's just, it just kind of comes along with picture. And I'm sure the editing is going to be excellent for The Fablements. It's going to be, a high quality production. So I have it number 5. At number 6, I have Bardo. Kind of similar lines. It's a movie that's going to be contending at the very top of the Best Picture race. Probably going to have a lot of editing. It's going to have some crazy camera movements, camera pans, I'm sure. And I just think it's the kind of movie that will get nominated or will be in the conversation at the very least to get an editing. For the next 2, at number 7, I have After Sun. And this is kind of going along with what I've said about After Sun before. Every reaction I've heard from it, people say the editing is really servicing the story. It's really purposeful. So maybe it gets in. At number 8, I have Decision to Leave, which in a very different vein from After Sun has crazy editing. Apparently it's if you've seen Elvis, you've seen maybe at the beginning of the movie there's some whack editing. I think it's bad, but a lot better. So if it lives up to what I've heard, I think it's definitely going to be in the conversation. At number 9, I have Avatar: The Way of the Water. And I think this movie is going to be a very long movie. It's going to be shot in a way that has to have a lot of post-production kind of work done on it, a lot of editing. James Cameron and his team probably going to have to piece a lot of stuff together because they're working on 3 movies at the same time. I just think this is a good shout out for a top 10 in editing. At number 10, I have The Sun. And this is another one that I think will kind of go along with a Best Picture kind of race thing. It's not in my top 5, obviously. It's just in my top 10. But, Florian Zeller and the Father, he's shown that whatever editor he works with, the editing was very good in The Father. I expect it to be as good or even better in The Sun. So I think that's a good shot of maybe potentially getting in. Moving on to sound, we have at number 1, Top Gun Maverick. And you can't really deny this movie's sound achievement. Obviously, it has to mix in and edit the sounds of the jets and all the action going on. And it sounds absolutely incredible. I watched this movie in a surround sound, RPX type screening, and I was going insane. I was holding on to my seat for dear life. So I think this movie definitely deserves it, number 1. And number 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie is very purposeful about how it uses its sound, and it's used so well, so effectively throughout the movie. It's bombastic, I think it's just a great achievement in sound, so I think it's probably going to get in, along with the editing, because they kind of go hand in hand. At number 3, I have Babylon. Babylon, what else to say? I mean, this is a Damien Chazelle movie. They always have great sound. He has a very musical ear to him, so I expect this movie to have great sound, and it's going to be a top tier contender, so what else to say? At number 4, I have The Batman, and this might be one of the first mentions of The Batman, but The Batman has a very strong chance in sound. I mean, this movie sounds incredible. This movie, it's one of the only movies people have seen that has come out yet, and it's kind of undeniable that it has incredible sound design, so we'll see if it gets it. At number 5, I have Killers of the Flower Moon. This kind of goes along the lines with editing and with Best Picture. It's going to be a top tier contender, so I think it has a good chance of getting in. The same thing goes for my number 6, The Fablements. Also a top tier contender, also probably going to be in the conversation for editing. and it's a high tier production, so it's gonna have good sound. At number 7, I have Avatar: The Way of the Water. Yeah, again, very much along the lines of, it's connected with editing somewhat, so the editing sound combination. Avatar is gonna be a blockbuster. It's gonna have a lot of action going on. It's gonna be very sound heavy. So I think this movie is gonna make some splashes around sound. At number 8, I have Bardo. This is another movie that's gonna be competing for the top prizes. It's Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. Trust him. It's gonna have very good sound. At number 9, I have Elvis. This is obviously a musical biopic. I've already seen it. It has great sound design. It's a musical, so it's a musical biopic, so you would expect it from a movie of this sort to be around the conversation for sound, so I expect it to be, talked about. At number 10, I have Decision to Leave, and this is also kind of going off of what I seen in the trailer, the fact that the score is beautiful, and, reactions from it. I think it's going to have great sound design, so I don't know, it might be an odd shout to put it in my top 10 because it's a foreign film, but you never know. Now we got Best Score, and at number 1, I have Babylon. Again, the track record. They've just always worked with Justin Hurwitz, his college roommate. Justin Hurwitz composed La La Land, Whiplash, and First Man. Oh my god, I listen to those scores every day of my life. Those scores are freaking amazing. If it's anything like that, it's gonna get in. It might win. Babylon. It's going to be amazing. Number 2, I have The Fablements, and this is John Williams composing a score for Steven Spielberg again. John Williams, maybe the best composer of all time. I think it's kind of undeniably the best composer of all time, actually. And it's going to be, I think, maybe his last score he's going to do, or one of his last. God, I mean, it's going to be amazing. You can't expect anything less from him. He always gets nominated. He has like 1 million nominations, so he's probably going to get it. At number 3, Killers of the Flower Moon. Top tier movie. Scorsese movies always have great scores. I mean, it's probably gonna get in. I don't know who's composing it. If it's the same composer as Silence, God, I mean, I hope it gets in. At number 4, I have The Batman, and this is Michael Giacchino's score that everybody's probably heard by now. It's iconic. It's a score that's gonna be remembered for a long time. It's gonna stay as a very iconic original Batman score. So this score has to get in. I mean, it has to get in. This is a great score. It's gonna be a memorable score. So please let The Batman get in. At number 5, I have Decision to Leave, and I'm giving Decision to Leave a lot of confidence in a lot of categories. And just from the trailer from Decision to Leave, I already know that the score is amazing. The score in that trailer is just I wanted to keep watching it because I wanted to listen to the score. It looks incredible. It sounds incredible. I mean, hopefully it gets in. At number 6, I have Bardo, another top tier contender. I'm expecting this production to have a great score. Again, not sure who's composing it, but I have a lot of hope when it comes to this movie. At number 7, I have Avatar: The Way of the Water, and from the trailer, it looks like the score is good. It looks like the score is very good. So, again, we'll have to wait till you see the actual movie, but I have confidence in the score from what I've seen, so hopefully Avatar can contend. At number 8, I have The Son, and I'm just basing this off of Florian Seller's past movie, The Father, which had a beautiful score. Absolutely love the score to that movie. I'm not sure if it got nominated, but love the score to The Father, so I'm hoping The Son is going to be, along a similar vein, a very good score. We'll wait and see. At number 9, I have Women Talking, and this is going to be, probably a more understated score, and probably a more emotional score because of the subject matter of the movie. Not sure who's composing it, not sure about a lot of things about this movie, but it's going to be contending at the top of the race, and I think it's going to be very good. At number 10, I have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and I'm putting this in because the first one, I think, got score. I think it won Best Score, actually. And so I'm imagining the second one is going to get a lot of hype for the score as well, if it lives up to the first. So I have it in. I think it's going to be in the conversation. It might even trickle up. Who knows? And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a movie I forgot to put in here. It's Tar, and this movie is composed by Hilda. I can't say her last name, so I'm not even going to try, but She's the woman who composed Joker, and I think won Best Score for Joker a few years ago. So look out for Tar. I didn't include it in this list, but it can easily get in. Moving on to Best Animated Feature, and I'm gonna run through these quite quickly because I'm not too aware of a lot of the movies in here. I don't know how to talk about them too much, so let me start off with Pinocchio. This is Guillermo del Toro's stop motion movie coming out on Netflix. This is number one because it's Del Toro. The trailer looks really, really good, and it looks like it's a slightly weak year for animation. So I think Del Toro's Pinocchio is probably gonna win. At number two, I have Turning Red. I've seen this. This came out on Disney Plus. It's a very cute, charming movie, but maybe it doesn't. It's not like a top tier Pixar movie in my eyes. But I still think it's gonna get in. I think it's still a strong movie. So I have Turning Red at number two. Number three, I have Strange World. I've seen a trailer for this. This is a Disney movie. It looks kind of odd, looks kind of wacky, but maybe because of the world building and because of like the entire like kind of like aura of the movie, it gets in. I think it has a decent chance. At number four, I have Apollo 10.5. This is Richard Linklater's Netflix movie. I haven't seen this, but I think it's a slower animated movie. It's very contemplative, and it's reminiscing the decade where, you know, the space mission was going on. Don't know too much about this. I just know it's very good, so it might get in. At number five, I have The Bad Guys. Haven't seen it, but the reception wasn't that bad. The reception was actually pretty good, so maybe The Bad Guys gets in. At number six, I have Lightyear. Also have not seen Lightyear. I've heard it's kind of iffy. There's a lot of mixed reviews. Very few people like it. A lot of people don't like it at all. So maybe this is like an off for Pixar and it doesn't get in. Who knows? Number seven, I have the Bob's Burgers movie. Don't ask me about this movie. Know nothing about it. It's a movie. It's a movie, and apparently it's okay. So maybe it gets in. At number eight, I have Minions: The Rise of Gru. And I have seen this film, and I think the thing going for it is maybe it's the second best Despicable Me movie, or like that universe, but that's not saying a lot, because that franchise is quite bad if you ask me. And I didn't really enjoy Minions: The Rise of Gru too much, but hey, you never know. Like, these movies might get in. At number nine, I have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This movie made a ton of money. The reception was like kind of okay. I think people liked it even better than the first movie, which is not saying a lot, but you know, it's a solid animated movie. It might get in. At number 10, I have Super Mario. This is a star-studded movie. I think Chris Pratt is playing Mario or something. But it seems like a silly movie that doesn't need to exist, so I don't know. I don't know about this one. But it might get in. Again, I'm not too aware of what's going on in the animation world, and I think there's not a lot of strong contenders this year, so the backside of this lineup is probably a little bit weak. Moving on to Best Makeup and Hairstyling, at number one, I have Babylon. It's going to be a period piece, so people are going to have, you know, a lot of stuff going on with their makeup. I'm sure it's going to be very extravagant, and it's a top tier contender, so I have it in number one. Number two, I have The Batman. The Batman obviously has a little bit of makeup, but most of the makeup is going to be focused on Colin Farrell's transformation into the Penguin. It looks very good. It looks incredible. It looks like a completely different person, so I think it deserves to get in. Number three, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the movie. Topo Japaki. It has a lot of makeup, so maybe it gets in. Who knows? I have it at number three. At number four, I have The Whale, and this is kind of along the lines of The Batman. I think Brendan Fraser is going to have some prosthetics on his face to make him look fatter because he's playing a 600-pound man. And, you know, because of the prosthetics, I think it has a solid chance of getting in. At number five, I have Blonde, and I have this almost uniquely because it's obviously replicating Marilyn Monroe. Ana de Armas is playing her. The makeup looks spot on. The hairstyling looks spot on. You know, it's that kind of movie where I think for this particular branch, it's going to be pretty appealing. At number six, I have Elvis. And I have this because Tom Hanks has prosthetics on his face. Elvis has a ton of makeup on. Obviously, there's hairstyling with Austin Butler done as well. So it kind of seems like it fits the profile. At number seven, I have Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Obviously, in this world, there's a lot of stuff going on with makeup. It's like very traditional African makeup and hairstyling. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting. I think maybe the first one got nominated. So look out for Black Panther. Now we have costume design. And at number one, I have Babylon. Very similar reasons to what I've talked to before. 1920s, the dresses, the extravagance. I have number 1. Number 2, I have Everything Everywhere. Similar to Makeup, it's Joe Tapake with the crazy dresses and the crazy stuff. So for that reason, because of the originality, I think it gets into the costume design category. At number 3, I have Killers of the Flower Moon. Again, period piece, Western type movie. The costumes are going to be good. It's going to be an interesting movie. I think it's going to get in. At number 4, I have The Fablements. Another period movie. From what I've seen from the pictures, from Michelle Williams' dress, it looks cool. It looks like very, very on point for the decade. So, it's probably going to get in. At number 5, I have Elvis, and this has to do more with his costumes, his performance, outwear, and I think it is kind of accurate to represent Elvis's persona as like more than a person. I think the costumes kind of serve the movie correctly, so it might get in. At number 6, I have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I think the first one costumes. The costumes are going to be excellent in this one, I'm sure too. Maybe it's, repeating some of the old ones, so it might not get the same recognition, but I'm sure the costume design is going to be great. The team working in Black Panther is obviously really talented. At number 7, I have the Batman, and, basing this off mostly on the Batman's costume design, maybe. There's some costumes in the movie. That's kind of what I'm looking at, and I've seen this before, so I have some confidence in what it actually looks like, so I have the Batman at number 7. At number 8, I have Rustin. Rustin is going to have, period piece costumes. I've seen a picture of Coleman Domingo wearing his outfit. The costumes look great. I think it might get in, so I have it at number 8. At number 9, I have Amsterdam, and I've seen the trailer for this, so I know the costumes. It looks like they're wearing some, cool, eccentric, also period type clothing. So, Amsterdam, there's always a chance it gets in, although it might get pushed down because of the controversy. At number 10, I have Glass Onion, and, Lights Out has a lot of quirky, or at least the original had a lot of quirky characters, with a lot of quirky outfits, and maybe Glass Onion has the same. Maybe the characters dress in, really fun, interesting ways. So, who knows, maybe it gets costume design. Now, visual effects. At number 1, I have Avatar: The Way of the Water. This is gonna win. I think there's very negligible chance that this doesn't win. The visual effects are going to be groundbreaking. It has underwater filming like nobody's ever seen. It looks beautiful. The VFX look seamless, and it's a completely virtual world. So, this is going to win. Number 2, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is going to be a darling, I think, of some of the Academy voters. The VFX team is very small in this movie, and yet they achieved so much and made it look so good. So I think they deserve a lot of recognition for what they did with this. At number 3, I have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The first one had a few jankiness in their VFX, it had some scenes that look like ragdolls fighting. But from what I've seen from the trailer, it looks a lot better. The VFX look really, really polished on this one. Hopefully it's not like some of the other Marvel movies that have come out this year that have had weaker VFX, but yeah, I have Black Panther at 3. At 4, I have Nope. Just saw this recently. The VFX are very, very good in this, so I can definitely see this getting in. At number 5, I have The Batman. Very strong VFX. It's not a super VFX heavy movie, but it definitely utilizes them at a lot of points without people noticing. So I think the Academy will recognize that as very well executed VFX, kind of seamless. But yeah, I see The Batman getting in. At number 6, I have Top Gun Maverick, and this is kind of similar to The Batman. It seems like they didn't use a ton of virtual effects because most of the things were done practically. The flying was done practically, but there's still a lot of things going on there. So the VFX branch might recognize Top Gun Maverick for their seamless integration, it seems, of VFX. At number 7, I have The Northman. This has a good amount of VFX. They're good. They're kind of stylized, but they're very good. So maybe The Northman gets in. Number 8, I have Doctor Strange. It's a movie. It's a movie that I saw. Not very good. The VFX are okay. At number 9, I have Thor: Love and Thunder. Haven't seen this one, but I've heard the VFX are pretty bad, so I don't think it's gonna get in. But there's very limited options. And at number 10, I have Pinocchio. And honestly, I'm kind of regretting not putting this a little bit higher. This is the Del Toro Pinocchio. I think the Disney one looks like it has some pretty jarring CGI, some like really bad green screen. But the Del Toro Pinocchio looks like it might have some very good effects, so we'll see. Alright peeps, you might notice I'm in a different location and the audio might sound a little bit wonky. That's because I traveled somewhere and I didn't wrap up the video, so I wanted to wrap it up clean and mention that obviously I didn't include documentary feature, international feature, animated short, or regular short. And that's because I feel like I don't have a gauge on where those stand right now. I'm gonna go to TIFF in September and I'll probably get a better idea of those categories and every category. So I'll make an even fuller prediction after I go to TIFF. That's gonna be pretty exciting. But for now, thank you for watching. I really hope you like and subscribe to this video. It took me a lot of effort and time. But anyways, thank you for watching and I hope you have a good day.